Hello, good day, beautiful people. I am the Inspirational Lady Noble 365 Tarot. Welcome to my channel. I greatly appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I trust you'll love this vibe. And everything you need to know about me is in the description below. This can be past, present, or future. You or someone around you. So take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. This is a general read. This is not a personal read. If you like a personal read, check out the description below, and I'll be happy to assist you with doing so. Remember that tarot is a tool. It is not the final rule. So it's a good idea to have an empty cup when you are on Lady Noble's channel and you really want to see what's up. Okay, thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your subscribes, and thank you for your kind support. All contributions are highly appreciated, and all are welcome on this channel. Okay, all right. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. First card that we're starting out with is the sun energy here. There's an energy of you, collective, having great positive expectations. This could be according to your love life. This could also be according to maybe your career, okay, or something that you're working on. You have a lot of positive energy vibrating through you and around you at this time. With the sun card out, this is the highest card in the deck, okay? And this is also a very positive card. And so when the sun energy come out, we know that there's increased vitality, lots of success, and lots of clarity. You know, you are being given the opportunity to have information clarified to you, or you could be maybe making sure that you could be making sure that you're clear on certain things. You could be maybe asking questions when you're delegating your business and your affairs. You could be, confirming things, okay? Whether this is through a phone call or this is in person, face to face interaction, okay? Lots of cautious energy, okay? Not anxiety, not that you're in fear, but you're being cautious. Maybe this is something of the past that you are working on. Maybe in your most recent past or a long time ago past, maybe you were someone who was likely not to clarify or get a clear understanding when conducting business, or as well as when you are in relationships, whether it's business, private, personal, or romantic. And so you are making sure that you are getting clarity, making sure that you have a clear understanding of where you stand when it comes to relationships. If it's a business project, you're getting an understanding of, what's your description, what is the expectation of you, and how to execute. Okay, so you're becoming more vocal. Okay, so this may be something that was challenging for you in the past. It happens. There are people who are intellectually insecure, and it's okay. No one knows it all, and we all are learning. And so this is something that you are overcoming. You're more vocal. You're more confident within yourself. You know how to communicate effectively as well. And so wonderful to you to acknowledge that, okay? Just simply acknowledging something as such and being willing to change it, puts you in that energy of the Queen of Wands. That's why you're now very determined to make sure that you continue to stand in your power. You're not allowing anyone to put a contract in your face and maybe not speak about it and just say, oh, sign right here, collective. We just need you to sign. No, you're likely to say, no, what is this about? And give me a day or two to read over it. I'll get back to you, male or female, that kind of energy. So you're getting a lot of clarity. You're receiving clarity. This is a good time for you right now in your life. You're just feeling good. You're feeling good. You're feeling like creating. You're very determined. So there could be something you're working on that you feel good about, something you're keeping close to your chest as well. There's something you're keeping private, as you should. I don't blame you, but it's something successful. It's something that's going to bring you to the energy of the 10 of Pentacles. And so you could be keeping this private to yourself because this will bring you good fortune and lots of fulfillment in your life. And so instead of letting people know your next moves or your plans, you're choosing to work on this project in private. Okay, now I'm hearing procedure. So you could be maybe having a procedure done. Okay, maybe you're having some kind of work done on your body, on your aesthetics. Okay, someone could be having some kind of procedure done to enhance their aesthetics. Okay, male or female. Okay. And so you're being wise to be private with this project that you're very passionate about, you're very excited about. You're very motivated. Okay, you know you're for guarantee like this is going to pay off. This is going to be big. This is going to be big. Okay, you could be inventing some kind of app. Okay, you could be writing a book. There's something you're creating or building. It's something that you're sure. It's like you're guaranteed. You know that if it's a service where you're patronizing the public, you're not concerned about will they like it, or it's a need. You found the need, and you're going to fulfill it. And this is something you're working on in private by yourself alone. You could also be someone where there could be chatter amongst maybe family members or friends. They want to know where you are, where you're disappearing to. Maybe recently or quite often recently, you've been invited to different maybe gatherings or outings, and maybe you've been declining. So it has friends talking, I wonder what they're up to. They're not coming out. They say they're not coming with us, that kind of energy. And so, but keep it private. Spirit is saying you're doing the right thing to keep it private and keep that confidential. You want to make sure that there isn't anyone trying to impose any negative energy, on your project or on your idea, because you are so excited. I'm picking up a lot of happy, joy energy, like that. For sure that it's going to be a positive return on this investment or this app that you are building. I'm picking up an app. Okay. All right. And so Spirit is saying the more and the longer you choose to move in silence, the more success you will gain. And when actuality, when this project is finished, even if it isn't an app, it could be a book, it could be starting a business, it could be graduating school. I once knew someone who did obtain their master's degree, and they did it privately. They let their family know the day of graduation. Yes, you can do that. Okay. So you don't want any interruptions, you don't want any interceptions, and maybe you are concerned about negative projection. It doesn't mean that anyone can stop you from being successful, but you're avoiding anyone projecting, their nose or their energy into your business or your plans. And that's very smart. Very, very smart. Okay. So with the Queen of Cups energy here, and so you have overcome a lot of healing, and it's taught you to have compassion for yourself, and so that's where you get this moving in silence energy from. You have overcome some situations that had you feeling like the Ten of Wands, exhausted and burdened, and your heart was heavy. This could have been from a romantic connection. This could have been some kind of betrayal that you received from family or friends, but this is past energy, and you've learned the lesson. And so you're learning to protect yourself and love yourself more. And so that's why you feel impelled to remain to move with this project or this idea in silence. Whether this is you, obtaining a degree, a certification, there's something major that's going to pay off for you. Okay. It's going to bring a lot of financial harmony into your life and into your household. And if you are a parental figure, Spirit is saying your children will have options. You are creating the opportunity for you and your family to have options. Where you want to live, what you want to eat, what you want to wear, where we going to vacation, where we going to drive, that kind of energy. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Because you've been there, you've done that, and you've learned the lesson. And you've learned the lesson. You've been enlightened on what to look for, and when something doesn't serve you for your highest good, person, place, or thing, you're likely moving forward to make sure that you remove yourself. And that's why you are on your throne with the Queen of Wands here. And there's a lot of light in both of these pictures because you have been enlightened. You found the lesson to be learned. Male or female, remember gender is fluid in tarot. Okay. And you're also in a position where you can give back, but you're only dealing with situations that establish and only representing reciprocity, equal give and take situations. You're not dealing with any kind of one-sided connection, whether this is business, personal, or romantic. You're not distributing more than is necessary. You're not overextending yourself. And so there could be people of the past expecting you to reach back and be who you used to be. But that person is gone and no longer exists. Each and every day, you should be doing something different to enhance your life. Each and every day you should be doing something that was better than the day prior. It doesn't have to be major, it could be something small, but either way, progress should be the goal and intentions, while you're here on planet Earth. And so there could be some people or a person who's going to pop up from your past who's going to assume that you're not who they see. You're not who, what they're hearing about. They may hear about your success. They hear about, okay, I'm here in sobriety. Maybe you're someone, congratulations, someone who has conquered an addiction. Okay. I've heard sobriety. Okay. So they may assume that you are who you used to be. Somebody may pull up and, hey, let's turn up, let's drink. And you may say, hey, I don't do that anymore. No, thank you. Okay. And they may become offended because they want you to return to who you used to be, but you're not sacrificing all that you have worked for. So you may tell this person to kick rocks, blow bubbles, um, you know, spit dust, whatever. You may tell them to kick rocks. Okay, they come in your face, trying to change the energy, trying to shift the movement, because the movement you have going on is beautiful, it's prosperous, and it's about you healing and overcoming and moving past. You're no longer telling your sob story. You know how some people say they're healed or they're over someone, but they're constantly thinking about them, projecting negative energy, or they're constantly talking about them. Well, you're not doing any of those things. You are actually over, if it was a love relationship that broke your heart. You are actually over maybe family and friends who have crossed you or maybe didn't want to help you when you were out in the cold. You're over it. And just because you're not dealing with them and you're not reaching back, communicating with them, there could be a person or two, or I'm picking up possibly a group of people who may be talking some smack, because they are angry because they don't have access to this new you. And so there could be some, some childish folks, in that infantile behavior. I don't believe the collective has changed. You know what? Let's go see. Let's go see. And they show up to go see and they get their feelings hurt. They find that, what they heard and what they see is actually legit. You're actually on your throne. You're actually successful. You're actually healed. You're actually just not interested in entertaining anyone, especially any negative person or karmic you have broke ties with. You're not interested in entertaining their presence, and it's okay. It doesn't make you a cruel person or an arrogant person. People. There are people who have an expectation that you're going to hold space for them, meaning they want to treat you any kind of way, do what they want, and then maybe a couple of years from now, I come back and holler at you, and hopefully you save space for me. No, that's not how life works. People do not have to save space for you. If someone allows you back into their life, they have free will to do so. But no one has to save space for you. No one has to not change who they are for you. And that's what I'm picking up. There's a person or a group of people who are and is expecting you to save space for them. This could be an ex-lover, male or female, who mistreated you, cheated on you, whatever. And they didn't want you when they had you, but time has moved on. You're progressing forward, and they may run into you, maybe 5, 6 years later, and they're thinking, or they're under the expectation that they can get that old thing back. No, the past is the past. No one is saving space for you. People are actually healing. The word healing does exist, and there are people who are actually healing from past situations. Just because you've had a connection years ago doesn't mean that you're welcome to show up to the present in the present day to the collective, because you are not about to block the shine, the prosperity. You are not worth the bag. You're not worth the sacrifice. So if you're watching Cross Watcher, I'm going to speak for the collective. You're simply not worth it, my dear. The collective is not holding space for you, and they don't have to. Okay. And it's really insulting for someone to expect that. The nerve, for someone to even just expect someone to save space for them. That's quite weird. If you let that marinate, they go away, come back. Okay, I'm ready now. Like in another read, I was saying how it's just not impressive when an ex want to come back and rekindle some ish. I'm ready now. Here I am. No, thank you. Or a karmic family member or friend, who may have slighted you or did some shady ish. No, thank you. And you're still forgiven. That doesn't mean a person is bitter or angry because they don't want to deal with you. That means that they are closing out the cycle with you and they are done allowing you to be in their life and really misinterpret how you're supposed to treat them. They are done being your doormat. You can't go around treating people like they're scum up under your boot and think they're going to be there forever. And so you could be one of those people where people are very shocked at what they see. You're on your throne. They never thought that you would be confident. They never thought that you would heal. They never ever thought that you would tap into your creativity. And these could be people, especially family and maybe close friends of your past that you're not socializing with for whatever reason. And you have a right to. Okay, it's different for everybody. But these are people who expected for you to be where you were when they last saw you. And it's not just expecting, they want and are assuming. And there are people who will come and try to connect with you and reattach just to come into your life to be nosy, collective, to be nosy, to see what they can find out about you. Can I find out some dirt? Is the collective real? Is they fake? Is they doing anything that I can talk about? Is they doing anything where I can slander their character? There are people who will reconnect just with nefarious intentions and deeds towards you. So just because someone pops up from your past don't mean that they deserve to get a, you know what I'm saying? That don't mean that they deserve to have access to you. It just doesn't. Okay, because people have different reasons, and now you are enlightened. You're no longer who you used to be. You're not the one who carries everyone's burdens and problems. You're working on self-preservation moving forward, and you're going to work on increasing that, male or female. You're not overextending yourself into other people's lives or responsibilities. Maybe you were that friend or that family member who babysitted for everyone. Maybe you were that one who let everyone come over and eat up the food and empty the fridge out and come on and come on. Or maybe you were that one who allowed everyone to move in with you. You were giving, but no one was giving to you. And so this is not about a clapback. This is not about getting even. This is about you choosing yourself. And you don't need permission to be great. No one has to get permission from anyone to be happy in their life, to be content, to be at peace. No one has to ask, oh, I'm going to care about myself now. Is it okay? Man, please. Mm-mm. 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 No, 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 no. And so, keep in mind, collective, that people will try to steer the narrative. And Spirit is saying, pay it no attention. There may be someone from your past who's going to be angry because, see the scales in your hand, you're balanced now. You know who you are and you're confident. So they're going to be very angry. So anything that you build or create, they're likely to reattach themselves because they want to sabotage. So be mindful because there's someone who's going to try to come near you and they're going to come with sweet, light conversation and talk about how much they miss you so much. And I love you. This may even be an ex lover, someone you had a relationship with, male or female. This could be two males or two women. All are welcome on this channel. Doesn't matter what your belief system is. But yeah, be careful of people coming with those sweet conversations, those sweet, soft conversations, okay? Trying to pry and get back into your life, knowing darn well that their intentions are not pure, knowing darn well they're still holding resentment and they want some get back. There are so many people who spend their lives being unhealed. They stay in that lower vibration because they find comfort there. All they know is chaos. All they know is toxicity. Okay? Nothing less and nothing more. Even if you gave them instructions to how to change or make things better, they're not interested. And they don't have to be. But you do owe it to yourself to protect yourself. Okay? No more. They were likely to play games with you in the past, so much so, and betray you behind your back. that it caused you so much stress and so much burden with the Ten of Wands here. Okay, look at all those blades there. This person is planning, plotting, and strategizing. Oh, I see the collective doing better. Oh, let me inbox them. Oh, let me say something on social media. Maybe I can get their attention. Ooh, I'm going to say something. They're going to respond back. Ooh, I'm going to create a fake account. Ooh, when I see them, I'm going to do this. How about this? Ooh, the collective still ain't paying you no attention. And that's how you take your power back. Later.